What's up, y'all? Today we are going to talk about toolboxes. Now, I would probably classify myself as kind of not really an expert. I don't really like to call myself an expert at anything, but I kind of consider myself an expert on toolboxes. I've had at least quite a bit of experience with toolboxes over the years. I don't even know why I bought this. It's pretty much practically useless for anything. So one might ask oneself, Jason, did you really need another toolbox, another organizer? I didn't even bring out my organizers. But did you really need another toolbox? And the answer to that I can really say is no, probably not. I don't even know what's in a few of these toolboxes. I've forgotten. There's no telling what's in a couple of those. But, you know, of course, toolboxes come in all different shapes and sizes and soft hardness, like hard and soft and harder. I've used a few toolboxes before, pretty much every single one of those, and yeah, along comes Milwaukee Packout with their line of tools and their stupid, silly people doing reviews on YouTube. Made me fall for the hype. Made me fall for it. Honestly, I'd been eyeing them since they came out, thinking, wow, those are expensive. And yeah, they are. They are. They're not as expensive as these silly things. And I say silly because I've got that MC, and the actual oldest style MC is silly because it's lacking a lot of opportunity to put things. But as you can see, I've tried or used bags, boxes, various things over the years to try to contain my tools, to try to make it easier on myself. So then I go and see this specifically. So the organizer I only bought, okay, we gotta I gotta fix this. This is sketchy. This is what I call sketchy AF. I don't even know what's in here. There's something in here. And actually I'm gonna leave the other empty one out. I've got two of these. I want to show you the difference in the two. Likely this fellow was my first one, and I'm actually pointing this out in particular because it's kind of the same thing as the Packout. And as you can see, I used this for my drill kit for probably a year or so. And it's a great kit. It's you can take these out. In the other one I'm going to show you, you can pop out this top to make it so that you can fit bigger tools in there, which is what I did with the other one. But, and you know, and if you don't want to use the drawers, you don't have to. So this, comparing it and pointing out this one specifically, because it's going to be the closest thing to the Milwaukee Packout toolbox. Oh, what are you doing in here? Okay. And of course, we've all done this, you know. See a cheap gun case at a store and think, hey, you know, maybe I can use that for something related to locksmithing. I'll just maybe, okay, what do I have there? So it's either a fishing wire or a long reach, custom long reach tool. So looks like maybe fishing wire because there's a electrical connector. So I used this at one time for something to do with electrical. Okay, let's pull that out and use it again. It's just sitting in there resting. And of course, we've all used the typical cases that come with drills. Oh, there's a drill in there. That was a good drill while it lasted. And you know, we've all actually got some batteries for that guy too. So we've all tried that, but there's just never enough room in those little drill boxes. But then they stopped coming with boxes for the most part. I don't know, DeWalt, I don't know if DeWalt, I haven't bought DeWalt in years since I switched to Milwaukee. But Milwaukee comes with these red bags that I'm actually using right there. Again, this was more of an organizer. I don't know why I bought it. I bought it just because it's for fishing lures, y'all. It's for fly fishing. And I've got another H2O Express bag, and I was thinking maybe I could use that for something. No. So back to the Veto. You know, the Veto is great at holding a lot of, it's not great. This particular one has so much wasted space. I was talking about this on Twitter. Like when you open the inside, this is the regular MC. You can get like the tech pack now that I guess they saw that they wasted so much space, but like up here, like all the way up here, they could have put bit little straps, molly straps right there. They could have done that. And if you look at the other side of it, look, you unzip this guy, and this is an expensive case. This is like a $120 case. Like up at the top, you've got 3 big pockets. It's great for bigger meters and stuff, but they didn't use any of that space. But all this space on the side could have had pockets, and that alone just really turned me off from this. It was like, you know, it's got a bunch of little pockets on this side for tools. It doesn't work out for me for my selection of tools anyway. You know, and here again, bags we've all picked up or gotten for free. Some of these are like Harbor Freight bags. Some of them are actually, oh shit, we gotta go over here and tend to this, don't we? Okay, you stay right there. So yeah, we've all gotten these little bottom at various, I don't know why I have 2 at various times. And so the thing with the pockets on these, 2 different kinds. So number one, the outside pockets on these, you know, if the bag falls over, the tools just slip out. So this one came along, this is like a heavier duty one. I thought this was the same bag, but it's not. And this is I guess a heavier duty option of it with these closed pockets. But even then, you know, once you fill it up, I like the bright interior. We can see it's been used. But when you stuff screwdrivers and stuff in these pockets, it makes it not want to close. So you end up with a really stuffed out pack like this, you know, really fat. Got all sorts of stuff in there. And the handles are spread so far apart that it's kind of hard to carry. And of course, it's got these. Does this one have side? This one does not. Oh yeah, it does right there. But it's again, it's too small. Once it gets full of, you know, once you put a drill in here, a few screwdrivers and a couple other things, and then like a case for your screws, you know, because you always need screws with you. It gets too full to use. So both of them are the same size. One of them, this one actually worked a little bit better, but I'd like to talk a minute about this guy. This was a very expensive CLC. Don't think they make it anymore. It's obviously pretty nasty on the outside. That can all be wiped off. But this is a huge tool bag. It's got this big center pocket. Oh, there's a tool bag and a tool bag. It's got this big center pocket. You can see I used to use this for drilling. So you could keep a big drill in here. And oh look, I got another tool bag in it. Okay. All right. And then it's got side. It's just super deep, super heavy. But if you put all your tools in here, number one, it becomes so extremely heavy that it's hard to manage, and you know, it's got this kind of dinky little strap on it. And I very rarely do I need to carry all my tools. Like look at how many pockets are in here. This thing is a beast. I mean, you could put that's just one side, and then you go over to the other side, and look at that. It's crazy how many pockets are in here. So if you did stuff all these pockets with stuff, you know, that thing's gonna be This thing's gonna be heavy. And I don't ever need to carry every single tool that I own with me on a job. So that's kind of a waste of time. So the two tool bags that came out of that tool bag, one of them is labeled Broken Locks. It's just a little duffel bag by AWP. This is actually a kind of a knife holder. This is out of the gun industry, sort of like that box is. Where'd it go? This one right here. Both of these were really like gun-related type organizers and containers, not really tool-related. So a little too lightweight to use for that. Oh, look, what's this? This is a Voyager. This is pretty much the same as that AWP bag, just a dinky little cheap lightweight bag. Don't waste your time with those. All right, I'm extremely worried this guy's gonna jump off, and since we're comparing these two, I'm gonna put him right here. There's my climb bag. Now we're getting into the actual boxes and bags that I use in my truck. This just came out of my truck. And this one, thank you, dang it, Wes, for that. Here is like I mentioned, a little, the bag that comes with the drill for Milwaukee. Just the bag that comes with it. Ends up being, a decent, it's kind of like those AWP bags over there. It just comes up being, and it is what it is. Here, we're going back really old school, and I don't even know. I thought a couple of these were empty. I'm kind of curious. I'm pretty sure it's going to be old GM stuff, but, a lot of you younger folk don't remember having to deal with metal toolboxes. This one is some enterprising person. This actually predates me in the shop, but some enterprising person did something right there. I'm sure that irritated him when the lid broke. And normally these have a little tray. I think we're going to run across that in a minute. Metal toolboxes were forever. This is just how they were made. They worked well. They did what they were supposed to. They're tough for the most part, and I've got a few of them, but they're also kind of dangerous because, like, when you're swinging the toolbox around, if you're wearing shorts, which I don't recommend when you're working, it hurts a lot more than plastic. We didn't even put this one up here. These suck because of the angle. You can't stack anything on top of this, so this is obviously what it is. So we should see some old GM pullers and stuff. So this makes a perfect box for that because it's unusual. It's just, I put it out of the way and I very rarely need to. Ooh, I think this went in here. I wonder this guy. Oh, there's something in it. Made by Stack-On. Okay. Oh, nothing but rust. And some keys. This dates how old this guy is. Automotive fuses of old school. It's just crumbling into rust. What else we got down? There's that smell. Ew, I should go ahead and probably dump this out while I've got it. Well, I think I'll do that. Otherwise, I'm just going to put him back on the bottom of the pile, and he'll be there for another 100 years. So as I was trying to open this to show you what's in the home ag, this is one of the bigger metal boxes. Here is one of the problems with metal toolboxes. That little tongue groove type fastening that they had. If the lid gets twisted a little bit, it doesn't go in, and then this part broke off. That's supposed to have a little tab, so that was very common. I've got a lot of toolboxes with this broken off just from getting bent and then breaking off. So what was in here? Old tools, which I need to keep adding stuff to. Oh, and look, a corded drill. Oh, and a Schlag thing. So this is actually still workable stuff, but I don't. That's what I call the wrist breaker. That guy has gotten me a number of times, and I'm actually quite frightened of it. Some old bits and stuff like that. All these old tools that I've retired. So that's what this guy is. Let's get that fastened correctly. And oh, it's so heavy when you put stuff in it. So it's big, it's heavy. But guess what else is big? The whole point of this video, I know y'all are tired, you're all like, I'm here for the pack out. I'm not here for all these other toolboxes. It's big and it's heavy. That's the point. It's already heavy. This thing weighs like 5 pounds. I know y'all are thinking, wimp. But you know what? When you have to tote that up staircases, down hospital hallways, whatever the case is, it gets heavy, especially as you get older, you know? Oh, look, this is signed. So I for sure don't know what's in here, but look, is that a Kennedy toolbox? That is a Kennedy toolbox. Again, the tongue and groove, you have to always yank it up. Oh, looks like some more old GM puller stuff. Yep, the tools. J.H. Williams and Company. The B52 Super Ratchet. Probably still works. May need a little lubricant. And we've even got like wiser. This was an all-purpose toolbox. Not mine, obviously, because I didn't know what was in here. It was just on the bottom of the stack. So, hello, number 5 rekeyable padlock. We can do something with that. All right, I got some GM ignitions and some rusty things down there. Transformer, which I'm sure is no good. So yeah, this is how some locksmiths carried their stuff. Again, not mine. We do have some good, looks like some good sockets down here. Even back then, they were made in Taiwan, y'all. And this is a Kennedy toolbox. Ooh, look at that. Craftsman. A little filing cabinet lock in here. This is just a various of all things. Let's go ahead and throw this out. Revere RT 1240. See, I can throw things out, y'all. I'm gonna put this in. I wonder if Craftsman will warranty that. I didn't even know what it was. Yeah. We're gonna do what needs to be done and put this guy back. This guy, oh, this is history. It can stay history. I mentioned earlier that thing is not great to stack stuff on because of the angle side. Well, you know what? This one's like, hold my toolbox beer, because you ain't stacking nothing on me. Again, GM puller stuff. Torque set. Some of these tools could actually be put up. Well, look at this. Oh, what do we got here? Yep, the remains of Allied kit. More GM stuff. I could actually compile this into that. And in fact, that's probably what I'm gonna do, is just go ahead and get that back into there, because that's definitely GM puller set. This was mine for a while. I don't remember having this in there, but yeah, I remember this guy. I remember when I bought this guy. Wow. I remember when I made that guy for GM ignitions to get that little split ring. You like grab it with that and pull and hope you get it off. And this is also a GM ring. That could be used for, you know, maybe something else. But, oh, look at that. Another metal one. It looks like the Kennedy, but I don't think it's the Kennedy. And for a while, I had lost all my U-change cylinders. I knew I had a box of parts of U-change stuff. This toolbox was not originally a U-change repository. It was actually used for mounting stuff, like, you know, drive-in hammers. Got some good brass right there. We could probably use that for something. I actually got a brass bin and scrap metal bin where I could sort that. Let's go ahead and put it over here. Where is it? Brass bits and bobs. Bits and bobs. Those are bits and bobs. Wait, no, get over. You're going to scratch somebody. Okay, there we go. But honestly, you know, between this, and all the other ones, I never can find the time or the care to do the cleaning of these things. So I'm just going to stack them back where they were. Electrical, we can see. This guy was actually purchased for electrical, and this goes back to the fishing section. Oh, it is electrical, and these guys are neat. Yeah, for this exact purpose. And this is actually just my shop repository in my electrical bag, which I didn't even bring out this bag to talk about it, but that is a Maxpedition shoulder pack. That's my electrical bag. And in some of the pockets on the side, over here on this side, there's a couple of very small organizer containers, and they have just a mixture of these parts in it. If I have to do some serious electrical work, you know, then this guy goes with me along with a couple of other electrical things. But, you know, that's what that is. Move around here to some more recent ones. Craftsman Toolbox. Again, this was used as a installation guide. This kind of takes the place of the metal boxes. I was just never fond of them. I had that one, I've got that one. What's this guy? And these are, again, more current. Let's see what's in here. Camlock. I used to keep this in my pickup truck to do camlock installations. So again, another fishing thing. The fishing section is great for certain things, but and this kind of sums up the whole point. This one's empty, but installation, you can see fatter than that guy was. This one came before that one. This guy was just a little too fat. Again, gets heavy, hard to pick up. When it's full, these are just really, it bows out when you pick it up, you know, and you've got these plastic handles. I was always a little bit concerned with messing it up, but I did use it for quite a while. So this and this all were kind of one after the other until I got switched to the bag thing, because bags are a lot more comfortable to deal with. But again, when you have bags, they get floopy like this. See, that's floopy. If you ever wondered what floopy is, this is it. And when you put, you know, the side pockets, honestly, y'all, on these things, that's why I'm kind of impressed with those, because they never put side pockets in a bag like that, floopy bags like that. Putting stuff in the side pockets does nothing but make it just, you know, they're going to fall out if it falls over, and if it floops just right, stuff falls out. The pockets are all but useless on the inside. I mean, you could put stuff in there, but you always end up kind of forgetting what's there. These are wide and they just kind of stick out in the way. So, you know, bags like that were pretty, to me, useless. As I was putting this guy back underneath the grinder area where it lives to die slowly, Craftsman bag. Who can forget these venerable Craftsman bags? That's the same thing as the other two bags. It was just a open pocket, and I used those for a number of years too. So I forgot to put that. Forgot to include that one. Here's another thing about the old metal boxes. While they would stack, they don't stack well because the handle's not recessed. So you couldn't really stack these up very well unless there was a supporting wall beside them. Yeah. But even then, starting to stack it up further and further, it'll start leaning or being cattywampus. Once all the smoke clears and all the old stuff has gotten out of the way, we are left back with my current use stuff. Not that, but this. And this is my metal drill and door kit. It's got all my clamps and my stuff in there to do metal door installations. Never use that unless I'm doing a metal door drill, like a steel commercial type door, because it's got my squeeze play in it. It's got my clamps for the squeeze play, goggles, stuff like that. But when I take this with me, because I don't have a drill in there, because I use my drills on the daily, whereas I don't drill and install daily metal doors, but do once a week or so. So I have to grab this, right? So I grab this and I grab that, and I'm all like toting it to wherever I gotta go. Sometimes even the little shoulder bag that I carry that has the drop cloth in it. So then I've got 3 bags. I've got this heavy bag, I've got this heavy box, and possibly 1 or 2 others, as well as with all the stuff in my pockets. So I don't know if I'm gonna use this. I don't know, but let's take a look at it. The Packout, the Milwaukee standard toolbox, not the deep one, the shallow one. Packout. Oh, and of course the whole point of the system is to snap things together. So I had to get something to snap onto it. So I chose the tiny, the narrow, the little short organizer, thinking, hey, I could put strike plates and stuff on top that I might need. So the number one biggest thing is just that. It's big. It's really big. It's bigger than the rigid ones by quite a bit. Not necessarily lengthwise, but depth-wise, it's definitely bigger. Now these rigids have this little thing. If you have 2 of them, it would clamp. So see how that clamps there? And then it would just snick up. Now I love this. This is the one thing that I love about rigid, because I can put it in my truck just like that, right? And look, while the handle's not clipping onto another one, it makes a great handle to yank it in and out. That's the best thing that rigid with that case ever did. The latches are nice and sturdy, metal. Yeah, but the interior is the thing. The interior. Now, like I mentioned earlier, I popped the lid out so that I could hold bigger stuff and more stuff in here. And then these come out. If you want to put them back in to separate stuff, you can. But when the lid is out up here, it doesn't seal. So these, when you pop that inner lid out to fit more room, obviously stuff could fall this way over it. So at that point, these become pretty useless, and you're left with just a big open box. Introducing the Milwaukee Packout 22-inch toolbox. That's this guy right there. Pop it open. Oh, boom, boom. Now notice somebody. When I watched all the videos, I watched a bunch of various people's videos on the Packout, and they were talking about how the DeWalt organizer boxes, when you did this, the lid would fall back down. So with the rigid, right, it doesn't. It goes to 90 degrees and it stays there. It sometimes falls down, but not bad. So when you pop this guy open, it goes a little bit past 90 degrees. So it won't fall on you. This looks like it'll come out. But of course, if we pop that out, then it wouldn't seal very well. And you can see how this is kind of designed to just go, once it's closed, like that. So this would probably be the greater part of this, and this is the number one reason why I wanted to try this one first, is how they do their organizer area. Compared to just those, we have actual box things that's not in there, right? Okay, yeah, you have to go like that, and then this, like that, and then if you want that option, you can just slide them, separate them. Oh, by the way, when you're buying these, make sure you've got all four, because you can open it in the store and some a-holes will come along and open it and take these out. I was about to buy one and I popped it open and I was like, oh, look at that, there's only 3 in there. It may have been a factory mess up, but and then this guy, you know, and these are not the biggest deal cases. This guy especially. This looks like a great little item. Oh, look, it's got a little pigtail. You know, they're not the plastic latches. I feel like those would break fairly quick, but you know, maybe. Let's see. Oh, and one other thing probably would be I could take this and maybe put it on the bottom. Will it do it like this? Oh no, it doesn't really like that. That's interesting. No, we don't play like that, do we? It's gotta be like that. So yeah, this is the exact reason I bought it. However, it's so big. Look at this. Look how big. It's so much bigger box. But you know, big old sturdy handle. Yeah, this has a big old sturdy handle too. Good latches. It's got these weirdo little things that people have started modding and making little clips to put things on. And of course, it comes with the whole system. You know, that's the good thing. This thing only has 3 or 4 or 5 different containers where it would clip together. But these clips, you know, it may hold it still because it clips into the bottom. It may hold them still, but I wouldn't trust them a whole lot. Look at that. So this is like everybody's dream thing here. Yeah, that's a little crazy, especially for a locksmith, you know, something like that. If I was gonna say use this around the shop, I could see it, or if I had a trailer where I could just wheel it into the trailer to wheel it in and out, you know, but that using that out of a vehicle is laughable. Just not gonna happen. Not gonna happen, especially for those of you who may drive cars or small SUVs or small vans to do daily locksmith and task. You're never going to need this. You're probably never going to need that unless you're on the commercial side with a bigger van. But you know, if this guy's loaded with tools, you know how much that would weigh? If that thing just by itself is probably 50 pounds. So getting it in and out of your truck empty is going to be a big deal. Trying to lift it out of your truck with tools, especially in that big old rolly wheel, This by itself, this is about 40-ish pounds. So if I put that, everything in there would fit in here. That would make just that one container. That whole pack out system could easily weigh 400 or 500 pounds. I'm not ever going to need that. So do I need this Milwaukee Packout box? I think so. Maybe. You know, the organizer, let's look at it. Oh, and how it clips together. That is probably one of the neatest things, is that you just, this guy, so clips into right there, and you would just put it on top, let it drop down, and then boom, snaps together. And that's what happens when you open it without these being closed with something on top. Let's try that again. Oh, can't do that very easily. One-handed, can we? All right, going back to this. Take it, drop it on top, move it around, and then snap in and then you're good to go. So carrying it like that is going to be very wonky, especially when you have a bunch of screws and stuff in that top thing. And here's another issue I noticed a minute ago. So because the organizer is a little bit smaller, not deep enough, that, you know, and maybe if this was full of tools, maybe it would stay there, but it's counterbalanced by whatever you're putting in here. So this combination just by itself is not really feasible. And you know what? To me, walking into a job site, like, hi, I'm gonna help you out because I got me a fancy new toolbox. I don't like it. I don't like it, you know? I like it. It's a great toolbox. But I think it makes you look like the fancy schmancy guy. You know, if I roll up on a job site and I'm carrying that, they're like, you know, of course, if you use it in a few weeks, it'll get beat up enough to look like it's not brand new. But the system itself is so brand new already that, I mean, I don't know. I guess I'm a little self-conscious of that because I'm often around other contractors or other people, and they're going to be like, ooh, fancy new toolbox. Look at you, Mr. Moneybags, got you a fancy new toolbox. I don't know. I think I'm going to take it back. We didn't actually look at the organizer, though. So I'm going to finish off this video with letting you look at this little guy. Now, I am going to do a video on padlocks. It'll be a retail-oriented video, so I'm going to be checking out the American padlocks that we sell, testing them in these holes. Now, why did I choose the smaller of them? Number one, it's super low profile, you know. I mean, look at this. Boop. And again, I had to have something to clip into it. Look how low profile that is. It's like 2 inches, and then when you open it, it's actually a little bit deeper than it seems. You would think these would be super shallow, but the way they look at that funny. Why is that shaped like that? That's weird. What is the reasoning behind this, y'all? So, you know, those are deep enough to use for whatever you want to use them for. It seals. Okay, so here we go. I can see a problem already. Number one, if you overfill one of these, that compresses down to seal. Oh, no, you can't move those around. Those have to be permanently right there. Oh, very interesting. What's going on? There we go. But again, goes out to 90 degrees. Metal clips, padlock hole. One thing I noticed, because I am going to be doing that padlock video on these, but before I take them back, if I decide not to keep them, is when these are clipped together, the holes don't exactly line up. They're off a little bit. I don't know why they just didn't make this a little bit bigger. It seems strange to me that they wouldn't make this guy come out to the same exact size. Even though it would be bigger, I don't understand why. I don't understand that part of this. That doesn't make sense to me. Does that make sense to y'all? It seems like that they would want these to all line up in a row so it wouldn't fall over, so it wouldn't be smaller. And then of course there's those smaller, the half sizes. I thought about getting 2 of the half sizes, but I have a feeling that they would also do that same thing. They would be in a little bit. So I don't know, but quality wise, you know, it's nice. It's what you expect. What all the cool kids on YouTube expect out of a system. Everything is made nicely. Am I going to keep it as a locksmith? Will locksmith tools fit in there? Should I keep it as a locksmith? Should you spend the money on it? There's so many questions involved. I can't answer them all, especially in one video.